Create an empty list with certain size in Python. How do I create an empty list that can hold 10 elements? After that, I want to assign values in that list. For example, however, that gives indexer a column list assignment index out of range. Why? Editor's note. In Python, lists do not have a set capacity, but it is not possible to assign to elements that aren't already present. Answers here show code that creates a list with 10 dummy elements to replace later. However, most beginners encountering this problem really just want to build a list by adding elements to it. That should be done using the .append method, although there will often be problem-specific ways to create the list more directly. Please see why does this iterative list growing code give indexer list assignment index out of range. How can I repeatedly add elements to a list? For details,
you can append element to the list e.g. What you are currently trying to do is access an element S1i that does not exist.
Try this instead. The above will create a list of size 10, where each position is initialized to none. After that, you can add elements to it. Admittedly, that's not the Pythonic way to do things. Better do this. Or even simpler, in Python 2.x you can do this to initialize a list with values from 0 to 9. And in Python 3.x,
you cannot assign to a list like xs I equals value, unless the list already is initialized with at least I plus 1 elements, because the first index is 0. Instead, use xs.append, or value, to add elements to the end of the list. Though you could use the assignment notation if you were using a dictionary instead of a list. Creating an empty list. Assigning a value to an existing element of the above list. Keep in mind that something like xs 15 equals 5 would still fail, as our list has only 10 elements. Range OX creates a list from 0, 1, 2, x, 1. Using a function to create a list. List comprehension, using the squares because for range you don't need to do all this, you can just return range, or 0, 9.
Veril's currently accepted answer. Works well for non-reference types like numbers. Unfortunately, if you want to create a list of lists you will run into referencing errors. Example in Python 2.7.6. As you can see, each element is pointing to the same list object. To get around this, you can create a method that will initialize each position to a different object reference. There is likely a default, built-in Python way of doing this, instead of writing a function, but I'm not sure what it is. Would be happy to be corrected. Edit, it's 4 underscore in range, 10. Example.